Have you ever smiled at a message from a friend and then suddenly panicked? Maybe it was just a silly photo. Maybe it was one of those jokes only the two of you understand, but you caught yourself smiling for a little too long. Then your brain asked the dangerous question, wait, do I like them? Like, in that way? And now you are replaying everything. Why do I wait for their messages? Why do I care so much what they think? Why does it bother me when they get close to someone else? But before you call it love, pause. Because sometimes what feels like romance is actually something else. Safety, relief, the feeling of finally being understood. In this video, we are going to look at 6 signs that what you feel may be platonic love, not romantic love. Not because the feeling is small, but because it may be deep in a different direction. And if you understand that difference, you may protect a connection that is already rare. The first sign is this: you want them to be happy, but you do not necessarily need them to be yours. When you love someone platonically, their happiness still matters. You want them to be treated well. You want them to be chosen by someone kind. You want life to be gentle with them, even if you are not the person they choose romantically. But romantic love often carries a different pull. It does not just say, I want you to be happy. It says, I want to be the one who makes you happy. Now this is where it gets tricky. Jealousy does not always mean romance. You can feel jealous in a friendship too. Maybe your closest friend starts spending more time with someone else. Maybe you are no longer the first person they call. Maybe a part of you feels replaced. That hurt is real. But it may not be desire. It may be fear. Fear of losing the one person who made you feel understood. So do not only ask, am I jealous? Ask, what am I jealous of? Do I want to be their partner? Or am I afraid of losing our closeness? Romantic love often wants to be chosen. Platonic love often wants the bond to stay safe. The second sign, you do not feel like you have to perform around them. Think about a crush. You may become strangely aware of yourself. Was that message too much? Should I wait before replying? Did I sound boring? Do I look okay? Your mind becomes a tiny public relations team. It edits. It calculates. It tries to make you look like the best possible version of yourself. That can happen in early romantic attraction. You want to be liked, so you start managing the image. But deep platonic love often feels different. You stop auditioning. You can be tired. You can be quiet. You can say the odd thought before your brain has made it presentable. And the relationship does not collapse. That is emotional safety. It may not feel dramatic. It may simply feel like your body saying, I do not have to guard myself here. So ask yourself, after being with them, do I feel excited but tense? Or calmer, softer, and more like myself? The third sign is in your body. When they are close to you, does it feel like electricity? Or does it feel like peace? People talk about chemistry as if the body has only one language, but it does not. Attraction can feel charged. You notice a hand, a glance, the distance between your shoulders. Your body becomes alert. Everything feels brighter, sharper, louder. But safety has a body signal too. Your breathing slows. Your shoulders drop. The room feels less threatening because they are there. That feeling can be powerful, especially if you are used to scanning people, managing moods, or worrying that you are too much. When someone feels easy, your nervous system may treat that ease like a miracle. And your mind may say, this is so strong, it must be love. But strong does not always mean romantic. Sometimes strong means your body is finally resting. So ask, does their closeness make me want romantic intimacy, or does it make me feel grounded and less alone? Romantic attraction may feel like a spark. Platonic safety may feel like an exhale. Both matter. They are just not the same signal. The fourth sign, look at the future you imagine with them. Do you picture dating, a first kiss, a shared home, making life decisions as partners? Or do you picture something quieter, still calling each other years from now, still laughing about the same stories, still being the person who remembers who they were before life changed them? That is a future too. It is just not always a romantic one. Many people confuse, I want them in my life forever with, I want them as my partner. But those are different wishes. You can want someone in your life deeply without wanting a couple identity. You can want a lifelong bond without wanting the whole structure of a romantic relationship. So ask, do I want to be important to them? Or do I want to build a romantic life with them? That difference may be subtle, but it changes everything. The fifth sign is more uncomfortable. Your fear of losing them may be pretending to be love. This is not about diagnosing yourself. It is about noticing what happens inside you. If you have spent a long time feeling unseen, one safe person can become emotionally huge. They listen. They remember small things. They notice when your mood changes. They make you feel less strange. And if you are someone who feels deeply, that kind of connection can hit very hard. Your mind may think, if this person matters this much, I must be in love. But sometimes the sentence underneath is, if I lose this person, I am scared I will feel alone again. That is not always romance. Sometimes it is the fear of losing emotional safety, the fear of losing a safe place. And that fear can be intense enough to look like passion. So ask yourself, do I want to move closer because I desire a romantic relationship? Or am I trying to protect the one connection that makes me feel understood? That question is not easy, but it can save both people from pressure they never asked for. The sixth sign may be the most important. If this never became romantic, would the relationship still feel complete? Imagine there is no confession, no couple label, no romantic upgrade, just the connection as it is. Would you still feel grateful for it? Would you still want to protect it? Would it still have a real place in your life? If yes, that may be deep Platonic love. Because Platonic love is not a lower version of love. It is not a waiting room. It is not friendship failing to become something better. It is its own kind of closeness. But if the thought of never becoming romantic feels unbearable, be honest about that too. Maybe you do want commitment. Maybe you do want physical intimacy. Maybe you want to be chosen in a way friendship cannot offer. That is not wrong. The point is not to force your feelings into a safer label. The point is to understand what kind of love is actually there. Because some relationships get damaged not because the feeling is weak, but because the feeling is so strong that we rush to name it before we understand it. So before you confess, disappear, or overthink every message, slow down. Ask yourself, do I want them? Or do I feel safe with them? Do I want a romantic future? Or do I want this closeness to keep existing? Do I feel desire? Or do I feel relief? None of these answers make the relationship less real. They make it more honest. Maybe it is romantic love. Maybe it is not. Maybe it is one of those rare friendships that teaches your body what safety feels like. And if that is what it is, do not treat it like a consolation prize. A person who understands you is not a small thing. A friendship where you can be unguarded is not a small thing. A bond that lets you breathe is not a small thing. Some people enter your life not to become your partner, but to show you that being understood can also be a form of love. So take your time, watch the signals, be honest with yourself. And if you ever speak to them, speak from care, not panic. Do not demand an answer just to quiet the panic. Start with the truth you already know. I value you. I feel safe with you. And I am trying to understand what that means. Because the goal is not to win a label. The goal is to understand the love that is already there.